I am. What's going on, everyone? Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, how the heck are you doing today? I hope I find everyone well, happy, healthy, living life to the fullest. I am currently headed out to Chesapeake. Going to get a new phone today, and I need my sister to be able to do that because she's the only closest authorized user on my phone account, basically. So yeah, I still have an iPhone 11, and so it's been long overdue for an upgrade, and it's starting to slow down, so I figured I'll go try and bite the bullet on getting a new phone today. Yeah, just put in a new spark plug into my bike as well. Went from copper plugs, like the stock copper plug, to an iridium plug, and man, this thing runs so much better. It feels so much better. This thing feels happy, you know. Definitely, in my opinion, an improvement. Definitely well worth the $10 it cost, I think. But anywho, let me turn down my music. I wanted to make a video talking about something that I was kind of thinking about yesterday when I was talking to one of my buddies at work, and that is the middle ground of trading, right? It is a bike, yo. But anyways, yeah, sorry, back to what I was saying. Yeah, it's the middle ground of trading. I feel like the middle area of trading, it's kind of like the area where, you know, you get past the beginner's luck, you get past the, you know, honeymoon phase of trading, and things really just start to get tough, man. Things just start to get difficult, you know. You start to get kind of a wake-up call, essentially, that just shows you, you know, like, this shit's hard, bro. This shit is the hardest way to possibly make easy money. It is so disgustingly difficult, you know. That's just something about trading. And I mean, as you know, people who stick with trading, like I imagine all of you watching this are, you know, you realize that, and it kind of does something to your mental almost, you know. It makes you start doubting yourself, especially once you get, you know, into that full-on middle phase of trading. Right, because like for me at least, there's three phases. There's the beginning phase, there's the middle phase, which is the longest, and then there is the profitable phase, right? Or at least that's the way that I view it. You know, I haven't reached the full profitable phase. You know, I still work a day job, I still do all these things. I'm not fully profitable. But yeah, if I had to label stages of trading, that's how it would be. And this video is specifically just focusing on that middle area, man, and just how tough that can be, you know. I think this can help out especially a lot of, like, you know, newer traders too, even, you know, to get a bit more of a better perspective of how trading can pan out over time. You know, I'm coming up on, you know, just about a year. I'm like 10 months in by now, coming up on just a full, you know, year of trading. And around the, you know, first couple months that I had, you know, things were rough, but they weren't like they are now, right? Now it almost feels like at every single turn I'm doubting myself, and I could attribute that in a way, you know, to market conditions changing and how they have, you know, with the presidency switch and everything, and then all the tariffs that he's got going in place, and all just the sporadicness of the things that are being put in place right now, you know. And it leaves a lot of uncertainty in the markets and stuff, and that leaves also, you know, there's a lot of volatility in the markets and stuff. So it, you know, I could blame stuff like that, but realistically, to me at least, that's not going to do me any sort of good if I just sit here and blame all this stuff, you know. At the end of the day, it comes down to me, you know, and what I choose to do at what times and when. Like this week, you know, I made a tunnel. But anywho, yeah, like this week, I traded one day, and I believe that was Tuesday. Made 500 on one of my evals and just called it a week pretty much. It was NFP week. I honestly don't like trading NFP week. It's not a very fun week. I usually try to avoid it. The only reason I ended up taking that trade that I saw earlier in the week was just because, I mean, it fit directly to my setup. It was everything that I was looking for. I had all my confirmation on it, and so I decided to hop in, right? But yeah, that's kind of an example of it comes down to me and what I choose to do with it. During that week, I feel great this week because of the fact that I was in control of myself. I was in control of all of that. And I feel like there's a cycle that comes with the middle phase of trading where, you know, some people just don't exactly get themselves under control with things like that, right? They don't get their emotions in check. They don't keep trying to improve themselves. They kind of get locked into this, God, it is windy today. They kind of just get locked into this just stage of, hey, it'll just get better eventually, you know. And you kind of just like, you might start slacking off on, you know, how much you're learning and things like that, and just start slacking off all around on your trading. You know, you might not paper trade near as much, things like that. Take your time to practice. Like, I feel like that's a big problem that comes with the middle phase. I mean, it sure has been for me, you know. I feel like the middle phase really brings out your actual true emotional side, because again, you're out of that honeymoon phase. You're past the euphoria of starting something new, of, you know, winning, you know, here and there, having some beginner's luck, things like that. You know, and you're too oblivious to the reality of what moves the markets. So a lot of the things that, you know, will stress you out in the middle phase weren't originally there, you know, in the beginning. These are all things to note, you know. I feel like that's why these are things that make the middle phase so hard, because you're having to, you know, more than you did whenever you started, and now you're having to find a way to adjust to all that information and actually input that information into your day-to-day, you know. And also at the same time, not overthink all this extra information that you now know and have and, you know, use. Yeah, the middle phase, it sucks. And I will tell you, if you're, you know, feeling like this sounds exactly like, you know, the phase that you're in, or just the point that you're at with trading, like, one thing I will say is just don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt your ability to be good at, you know, trading. Don't doubt that you can definitely be a good, profitable trader one day. It's just going to take time, and it's just going to take a whole lot of you learning and, you know, getting more experience with things, and just, you know, overall figuring out yourself, figuring out who you are as a trader, who you are, you know, mentally, who you are as a person. All these little things add up into one giant big thing. And I feel like the reason why there's so little people that get to the actual final phase of trading, being the profitable phase, it's because they quit. Whenever this time happens, they quit. They get spooked, the going gets tough, and they're like, maybe this isn't for me, maybe I'm not good enough at it. Well, let me tell you, you are good enough. You are more than good enough. You just got to put in more time. You've got to put in more effort. You've got to go harder than you ever did before, you know? There's levels to this shit, man. You can't output the same, you know, you can't go up a level and output the same amount that you were before at the previous level. It's not enough anymore. You got to do more. You got to be more. You got to give more. So yeah, my thing for you is don't quit. If you feel like you're in this phase right now, you feel like, you know, things aren't going the way that you thought they would or envisioned that they would, keep going, keep pushing a bit. Things aren't always going to pan out the way that you imagine them. They will never pan out the way that you imagine them. It just doesn't happen that way. You can imagine stuff all day. You can imagine an end result all day long, but it's not going to pan out the same way that you saw it panning out. So give it more time, give it more effort, get back in the saddle, keep going, and let's see what you got, man. You get what I'm saying? Keep it pushing, keep it stepping. Still got a long trail ahead of you. That middle phase is, it's a bitch, man. It sucks. Trust me, it fucking sucks. But that's what makes trading, man. That's what makes it so lucrative, because it is so difficult to actually do and actually be good with and consistent with. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got for this video. I honestly, I don't know. That's pretty much all I've got for this one. You know, keep it kind of short, quick, simple. I don't want to yap y'all's ears off too long. I just wanted to make something, you know, put out this weekend and give y'all a little bit of inspiration, hopefully, for next week, man. I feel like next week we're gonna have a good week. We're past NFP week. Let's hopefully have, you know, a good trading week. I mean, I know everybody can't have a good trading week, but I wish that we all could, right? But anywho, I will catch y'all peeps in the next one. I'm gonna get on and get my stuff done. I'm probably gonna record another video a little later after I get my new phone. Probably go wash my bike, take some photos, stuff like that. God, it's so windy out here, man. But yeah, anyhow, I will catch all of you in the next one. Y'all stay breezy. Have a good weekend. Peace.